Wow, well, that was one hell of a roller coaster. Remember that bit? Where Shuhei Yoshida couldn't speak because everyone loved him so much?
Thank you. Thank you.
Take a bow, son. And then there was that moment when Hulk smashed.
Better than on any other platform. Hulk smash is right.
Yeah. Then, of course, Jack Tretton's robotic mafioso replacement was wheeled out to do weird things with his hands and respond to unintelligible catcalling.
There you go.
But undoubtedly, everyone's favourite pick was Brian Michael Bendis, co-author of the Powers comic book series and real-life twin of Humpty Dumpty, showing off some exclusive TV show concept art. No? Well, alright then. Thankfully, there were a ton of games at this year's show, and here are the top 5, as voted for by you fine folks. Here we go. Now, it's probably safe to assume at this point that there are no decent people left living in Gotham. This could either be because everyone's left, which would have been a very sensible move on their part, or, what seems to be more likely, is that every single citizen has transformed into a 6-foot male criminal of varying racial backgrounds. How have I reached this conclusion? Well, the city seems very lived in for a place that's got nobody left in it, and I find it hard to believe that the criminals confined to Arkham and Blackgate were enough to populate it. So, yeah, innocent citizens magically transforming into a race of single-gendered criminals is the only logical explanation. As for the game itself, Batman now has a bat tank. Well, presumably he always had it, but Arkham Asylum had limited parking, and its city alternative was home to a nefariously overzealous wheel-clamping company. Would the Bat-Tank-mobile have a countermeasure for being clamped? Probably. But do you know how much it costs to refill the Bat-Tank-mobile's sleeping gas canisters? A lot. The answer is a lot, so you can't really blame him for leaving it at home. Also, the Scarecrow is back, meaning the return of the series' most compelling and game-changing villain. Personally, I can't wait to see what third-wall-breaking mischief he gets up to throughout his tenure as next to be dropped from a high place by Batman, as seen here with his exploitation of what appears to be a glitch. Very clever. Hey, look everyone! It's not Demon's Souls 2, but it is the spiritual successor, as recently confirmed by Sony. If that isn't enough to convince you though, there has been some leaked gameplay footage going around for a little while that all but confirms its Souls-like status that you can just go and Google if you like. Will there be the same cool, if a bit broken multiplayer component? I don't know. Will your left arm be twice the size of your right as you lug around that mahoosive great gun thing? I don't know. But what we do know is that it's from the beautifully deranged minds at From Software, and that Souls game leader person, Hidetaka Miyazaki, is back in the director's chair after sitting out on Dark Souls 2. Also, with a name like Bloodborne and this particular spelling of born meaning carried or transported by the thing specified, it seems our protagonist is probably going to be a bit keen on the red stuff. Whether that means your love is fetishized in some ill-advised and deeply scarring love sequence remains to be seen, but we can't wait to see some more gameplay really soon. Well, this just sort of fell out of nowhere, didn't it? Just sort of boom, and there it was. Nevertheless, we're so thrilled to see Sackboy back on home consoles, and, if you'll bear with the following unnecessarily complicated metaphor setup, it was akin to having a child return to the house after going away for a while on, say, a lengthy go-karting holiday, but then bringing all his friends back with him. Oh dear. Thankfully, unlike when that happens in real life, we're genuinely happy to meet and see his friends. Wow, that metaphor didn't really work at all. Sorry. There's Oddsock, who is an odd sock that runs really fast and is a bit like a dog. Then there's Toggle, who's not fat, he's just big-boned, and has the kind of frightening metabolism control that we wish we had. And finally, there's Swoop, a bird. A bird that can fly. Sackboy and his friends will be boying, socking, toggling and swooping their way onto PS4 and PS3 very soon. But until then, just try and get this adorable new expression out of your head. Then tell us how, because we can't. As, someone who's had the privilege of interviewing both the actors featured in this trailer, it struck a chord with me. But what does it tell us about Drake's impending adventure? Well, from the name alone, it seems almost certain that this'll be his last. Also, that he's been out of the game for a while. Doing what? Well, I'd like to think sticker books. No real reason. Drake has always just sort of struck me as a sticker book kind of guy, so... he also looks more like Nathan Fillion now than he has ever done before, so that's good. Oh yeah, and Sully isn't in the Adventurer's retirement home just yet. which you kind of would expect him to be by now, particularly if Nate's been gone for as long as he seems to have been. And that's about it. Okay, so the trailer didn't tell us much, but it's hard not to get excited. Naughty Dog is making another Uncharted game. Can we just call them The Dog from now on? I'm going to start calling them The Dog. Don't you let us down, The Dog. Okay, no, it doesn't really work. Oh, good God, how amazing did this look? From what we understand, Hello Games is a 10-person studio with only a handful working on No Man's Sky. How is that even possible? Every player starts on their own planet and it's randomly generated and it's all colourful and beautiful and no man can't just hurry. Yeah. When you're done on your planet, you can just hop into your spaceship and take off across the universe with your buddies in search of the final frontier. It's just, I can't really put it into words. The premise is immense, and while we won't be entirely sure how it works until we get some much-needed hands-on time, it's shaping up to be something truly special. However, there's still no word on whether or not you'll actually be able to name your discoveries, but if you can, the universe is about to become a much, much cruder place.
Captain's log. Today we landed on a new planet. We've elected to call it Nugget 7. The locals are not hostile and the language they speak consists of a series of pained throat rasps we're calling Sanese. This is Captain, my is bigger than yours. Over and out.
And
There you go.
another E3 done and dusted. Oh, but don't cry. We've still got Gamescom and TGS in the coming months. The fun never stops. Did your favourite game not make the top 5? Oh dear. Let us know what it is in the rectangle-shaped comment boxes below. And thank you for watching.